Let's get on over to night 2, which I will say now, I think I enjoyed night 2 better than night 1. Kicking off night 2. Didn't have any generic notes till later. We had the World Heavyweight Championship match. Drew McIntyre against Seth frickin' Rollins. Opens with a Claymore. Chaos ensues immediately. There are a lot of Claymores in this match. Some curb stomps, some attempted curb stomps. Seth obviously carrying the damage from the night prior. Some knee pain, some back pain. Wasn't at top condition than he should be, as Drew attempted to warn him to keep his focus. Drew side-eyeing Punk over on commentary from here to there, kind of being a little bit of a hypocrite himself of not keeping his eye on the ball. But eventually Drew would pick up the win, becoming the World Heavyweight Champion, getting his moment in front of fans. I will say probably the best moment out of this, and I was going to keep it to the end, but I will call it out now. Drew tweeting out during the match. At one point, Seth was laid out. Drew went over to his wife, took her phone, tweeted out on social media that he was bored at work. LOL. Mid-match did that. Picks up the win, picks up the World Heavyweight Championship, and then gets into a little bit of a verbal altercation with Punk, saying if Punk gets in his way, he is going to end his career. Punk claiming he couldn't hear him because the headset was also a little funny. Eventually, this would lead to a beatdown. Punk trips him up, beats him up with the brace, and moment. Damian Priest's music hits. Punk smiles, gets out of the way. Priest books it down there, nails Drew with the Money in the Bank briefcase right in the head. Calls for his shot, cashes it in, rolls Drew in, South of Heaven chokeslam, huge chokeslam. 1, 2, 3, Damian Priest is your new World Heavyweight Champion. So, glad we got this moment with Drew, or Drew rather got this moment for himself, of winning in front of the crowd. Seth did have a very heartfelt message, or it seemed, saying he fucking deserved it, another F-bomb, to Drew. Before the Punk stuff. Obviously, they're building to Punk later on, so to keep the ball rolling there. And Damian finally cashing in this briefcase after, 9 months of having it? 10 months? It's right around the corner, Money in the Bank. So seeing him have that, seeing him push to this new level, excited to see what he can do at this spot. Seemed once again at the press conference from the clip I saw, he's looking forward to the workhorse title, hopes to continue what Seth has built with it, and is looking forward to those challenges ahead. So happy for Priest, happy for Drew in a way. He did a great job with this character. I assume he's re-signed, but who knows? Hopefully he can keep this up of just like going not crazy, but more and more. I don't know the descriptor I'm looking for. Not psychotic, but more and more arrogant about the situation and just driven to do what is right by him, and take out all these people that I think has wronged him. Which, I mean, hey, the best villains think they're the protagonist, and he's got a pretty good argument if you really think about it. So, moving on to the next match. We had The Pride, ? I don't know if they're even using that name or if that was just an internet name given. We had the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley going against the Final Testament in a Philadelphia street fight. For some reason, Snoop Dogg was on commentary. I guess that added to the match. I mean, it did. I laughed. And then we had Bubba Ray Dudley as a special guest referee. So, yeah. Brutal kendo shots to start off this match. Akam and Razor taking out the Street Profits with that, nailing these guys. B-Fab would eventually take out Scarlett with a Russian leg sweep through a table. Cross would get into an altercation with Bubba Ray Dudley. Bubba pulled out the glasses. Everybody went, woo! And then a spear from Lashley as Cross turned around. We had the what's up from... I believe it was Angelo Dawkins onto Cross. There was a huge dive over the corner by Montez Ford earlier in the match. Kind of leapfrogged himself a little bit, but that was impressive. We set up for a table spot for Montez to splash Karrion Cross. And then, oh no, I am the table. Botched table spot. The table broke as Cross was being laid across it. We got a new one, and that one worked fine. Big splash from Montez up top. and the good guys would win and take down the Final Testament. I mean, I kind of saw this happening. We didn't do our official prediction last week's podcast because it wasn't even announced at that point. But yeah, what are we doing with Cross? What are we doing with AOP? I mean, I guess even what are we doing with Lashley and Profits after this? It's been this weird limbo between these groups for a little while, even leading into the Royal Rumble. I want Cross to succeed. It's just not looking likely, or at least the momentum's not there. The fans aren't there, but that could be because of the booking and the momentum not being there. It's really confusing. He crushed it in NXT a few years ago, or at least I thought he did a great job in NXT a few years ago. But since his return after that set of releases and the whole Gladiator Vince thing, it just hasn't caught fire. I think the presentation's there in ways like I thought the Final Testament when they debuted and those vignettes, like, oh yeah, this makes sense. But they're not picking up wins. They're not picking any momentum. I know I keep using that word for themselves. It's just weird. AOP, I think, can be a great addition to the tag team division. Once again, we're also referencing NXT of old, so I don't know if they've kept that fervor or that skill set. We'll have to see, because they haven't been given a chance to do it yet. We'll have to see how that rolls out. Profits, I think, should get away from Lashley. Not that I think the group is bad, but just let the Profits be Profits. Let them be fun, crowd-happy heels, and get them back up to where they were. If you're going to commit to both of them or either of them being single superstars, do that. And they don't have to break up. Do a New Day situation. Hey, we're just doing our own thing. Tez had that moment at Elimination Chamber 2 years ago? 3 years ago? I want to say 2. I don't remember. He had a lot of momentum for himself, and he did great in that match. And then now he's just here and around. And Dawkins has obviously built up his skill. I remember him originally in the group. I was like, he's just kind of there. But he's done well for himself, and I think you could give him a shot. Obviously, he's got the power spots, but put him in the tag team spot again. Get the ball rolling. Do something. That's all. That's all. And Lashley, I have nothing against. I just don't really care about Lashley, and I don't know if that's just a character thing or just me liking other wrestlers more. It's nothing against him. I like him being around. I just don't care. So put him back in the world title picture. Do something. Do something. All right, next match from there. We had LA Knight against AJ Styles. Solid match from both of these guys. AJ getting some new music. Now, Slim Jim. We'll take a little side tangent here as the funniness. Obviously, Slim Jim has been sponsoring for a while. Slim Jim, maybe even some say, would be the official sponsor that got rid of Vince McMahon and made the ball really roll and getting that piece of shit out of here from pulling advertisement for Royal Rumble and then things getting taken care of. Who knows? Who's to say? But LA Knight's been part of the whole thing there, right? And they got the Slim Jim mobile. They're gonna give it away. They had the sweepstakes winners there. Great. Gave the car keys to this old couple who looked very confused. Like, did you know you entered the sweepstakes? Oh, I get a car. So there's that. And then Slim Jim does like, and they did. They had no idea. And then Slim Jim does like, oh, it's the Slim Jim Fanatics. It's the Long Boy crew. And it's just all these people obviously paid there for their time just going, yeah, and like chomping on Slim Jims. Bro. If you're going to have security's got to be paying attention. Some random jabronis, I believe they're random jabronis because they didn't have any Slim Jim apparel on, somehow got Long Boy Slim Jims, whether they purchased them themselves at the stadium or whatever. Just get on the camera, and one just starts going to town with the Long Boy, just like, sir, this is a TV. Like, this used to be a PG program. We don't need to see you not even chomping on it, just sucking the Long Boy, if you know what I'm saying. Just, Jesus Christ. Cameraman, thank God, was like, whoa, nope, we're not doing that. Ridiculous. Anyways, back to the wrestling match. The gentleman did great. Obviously, LA Knight carrying most of the crowd here, at least, the support. AJ Styles tried a 450, failed it because LA Knight got the knees up. Phenomenal forearm attempt, but LA Knight pushed him similar to the Rumble Fatal 4-Way, knocks him off balance, BFT by LA Knight, and LA Knight, picks up his win in his Mania debut. Short, sweet. I'm great at recaps, aren't I? Then we got an announcement that SmackDown and King/Queen of the Ring are going to be in Jeddah on May 24th and 25th, so that's still a thing. Hall of Fame guys came out. We applauded all of them. Yippee! Then we had the U.S. title triple threat match. Logan Paul going against Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. I thought it was cool. Owens had ECW-style Trons and gear. Throughout the match, we had Gatorade, Powerade, and We Want Water chants to combat the Prime. Logan Paul at one point did get some brass knuckles, nailed Orton with them, but somehow Orton kicked out. Question mark. I feel like that was a little shenanigans. That should have been Owens broke up the pin. But whatever. Orton kicked out of that. He's got a jaw made of steel, apparently. Orton then comprehends the knuckles from Logan Paul, but turning a new leaf, hands it over to the referee. Referee, very confused, puts the brass knuckles in his pockets because Orton has some more devious plans. He doesn't need brass knuckles. No, he's going to punt this man. He's going to punt Logan Paul. Goes for the punt, but guess what? The Prime Bottle saves him. Who's in the Prime Bottle, you may ask? Was it KSI? No. Was it the other Paul brother? No. Was it Pat McAfee? No, he was at commentary. I Show Speed. No idea. And boy howdy, did he drop a lot of F-bombs. I don't think he'll be welcomed back. Orton punts him like he's in 300. Gets him on the English announce table, RKOs him. I will give I Show Speed that. He sold the RKO very well and laid him out. Eventually, the action gets back into the ring. Owens and Orton are going at it. Owens would pop up Orton for the pop-up powerbomb. However, pop-up fails. Orton turns it into an RKO. That was a very cool spot for the night. Logan Paul, attempting to take advantage of this, is going to chuck Orton out of the ring. Orton senses it, reverses it, gets Paul out for a moment on the apron, charges at Paul. Paul tosses Orton out then there. And then Logan would do the big old splash onto Kevin Owens, and Logan Paul would retain, keeping his U.S. Championship. Wow! Then we had the WWE Women's title, Bayley versus Io Sky. Bayley's got new music, but it's not the music we wanted. She didn't bring back the Bayley buddies. She didn't bring back the no stopping us now. Nope. We got kind of this weird new mixture of her old music. It was fine. She got carried out by some dudes who were jacked, had pharaoh masks. It was something. But ladies did a great job. I was a little concerned at the beginning as both of them were a little gingerly on their feet. Seemed like they were tweaking ankles or tweaking knees or something like that. They were kind of hesitating with some movements or not doing them as quickly. So I was a little scared there that some injuries had occurred, but they pulled it out. Had a couple of moonsaults from Io Sky. She went for, at the end, she hit 2 of them in a row, went for a third off the top rope, doing her moonsault stomp, which she did back in Japan, but that missed as Bayley had gotten out of the way. Bayley attempted a rose plant as Io handspringed out of it. Leading into the final altercation between them, Bayley would hit a back suplex, a dropped elbow from the top rope, and finally a rose plant to finish it out as Bayley would pick up the win and become the new WWE Women's Champion. Ladies did a great job. I appreciated Damage Control not being down there. Obviously, they did enter with Io Sky at the beginning of the ramp, an entranceway for Mania, but they weren't down there to cause shenanigans or do any kind of interfering. I appreciated that these two were just able to do their thing and tell the story themselves. Io did kind of pull a Jimmy at one point and tried to apologize, but instantly just slapped the shit out of Bayley. But yeah, they both did a great job. I don't think this should be the end for Io in the world title picture. Just keep her in there. Obviously, main event's a nice, easy, accessible way to get people into the limelight, get them into that echelon, I guess you could say, of like contenders. Keep her in there. Don't let Damage Control break up farther. Keep Kyrie and Asuka going. Keep Dakota going. This was meant to be a good guy victory. And the Royal Rumble winner would move on to get the win there. Leading into our main event of night 2, the Universal Championship, Bloodline Rules. Cody Rhodes going against the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. We did have Brandy with Cody during the entrance. Hey! As he kind of did his own Triple H King of Kings thing and just was his logo personified. Roman entered with Heyman only. No Bloodline whatsoever. Very mixed reactions, similar to night 1. The crowd was a little bit more behind Cody as the night progressed, but both were definitely heavily liked and respected, so that was cool to hear. Roman hit a crossroads at one point on Cody, only got a 2 count, and then claimed that the move sucked, and he just wanted to show Cody that he could do it, which I got a laugh out of. Roman attempted a rock bottom later on, but Cody reversed it into an arm drag, into a spear of his own. Eventually, Jimmy would show up. Shows... I don't know what I'm typing there. Shows key spears. I don't know. Oh. Jimmy shows up to interfere, save Tribal Chief. Jay shows up with the save, ends up spearing him off the stage through some tables. That looked like a rough spot, not gonna lie. But everybody is safe, it seems. 2 more crossroads from Cody, sets up for a third, and we get a mirror image of what happened last year as Solo Sikoa showed up, no hoodie, and Samoan spikes Cody in the throat. This would lead to, I believe, another Samoan spike by Solo, yelling at the Tribal Chief to finish this. They would lead up to the spear and Samoan spike combo. Cody would kick out at 2, surprisingly, and making the save. John Cena returns, makes his save, beats up Solo Sikoa, delivers a quick AA to Roman, and AA to Solo through the announce table. But this just summons more chaos, because that's what we need in Bloodline Rules, is chaos, chaos, chaos. As the final boss, The Rock, comes out, we get a confrontation. Obviously, they have history at Mania with Mania 20. Oh boy. 7 and 8? That's a guess. With their back-to-back Manias fighting each other. Rock takes him out. He preps to belt Cody. The Shield theme kicks on. Nice. Seth making the save. I was a little concerned he wasn't going to, if he'd be a little bit distraught, disheveled due to his loss to Drew early in the night. Seth takes his sweet time getting out there. He must have really came through the crowd like Shield. But gets in the ring. Rock immediately gets him, takes him out as Seth is dressed up in the Shield gear. So Seth kind of did nothing at that moment. Rock goes to prep to belt Cody again. But the lights go out. The Undertaker is here. Lights come back on. He's behind The Rock. Chokeslams The Rock. Both disappear. Apparently he chokeslammed him to hell. Who knows? As Undertaker ran out of the stadium. Thanks a lot, Magic. So we're evened out. Roman grabs a chair to hit Cody, but notices, Moose, that Seth Rollins is on the ropes. He's getting up, and he remembers, oh shit, this man betrayed me in the Shield however many years ago. This son of a bitch, I'm gonna hit him. So he goes, nah, I'm gonna hit Seth in the back. I'm gonna get my revenge after all these years of the Shield breakup, because I hold a grudge that long. Cody takes advantage of this after Seth takes the hit. Triple crossroads to Roman. Cody wins. 1, 2, 3. He's the new Universal Champion. We get a big celebration afterwards as Cody is joined by Brandy, his mom, his family, Brody Lee Jr., Jay, Sammy, KO, Orton, LA Knight, and eventually CM Punk. Hugs Cole on the outside. Calls out Bruce Pritchard and Triple H to thank them. Finally acknowledge a potentially hurt Seth Rollins as he kind of limps out on the outside with Kevin Owens. I know everybody who was watching was like, why isn't he talking to Seth? Why isn't he doing that? I was thinking maybe this would lead to a storyline. It potentially could. But Seth lived up to his end of the deal, being his shield, protecting him from Roman. Won in night 1 with the spear attempt that would eventually hit The Rock, and now night 2 taking the chair shot there. Seth, as he was shaking his hand, says it is his time now. No, not Cena's. It's Cody's. Cody would hug Nick Khan and the cameraman. And yeah, things of note. No Stone Cold, unfortunately. Production truck lied to us. And then no new Bloodline members, Tama Tonga. No Jacob Fatu. At this point, obviously the internet is a rumor mill. And it's one of those things where I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it. It was the same thing with Mercedes. It was like, there's a chance she hasn't shown up yet. There's still a chance she could help Bayley. And then she showed up in AEW. It was like, okay, well, that's fine. So until I see him, it's like out of sight, out of mind type deal. Everybody's reporting Tama has signed months ago. The Jacob Fatu news, I think, only broke Sunday, aka yesterday. So we'll have to see. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Raw after Mania. We'll see. So let's get into the final just notes, tags on here of Mania, WrestleMania overall. It's ladies' highlights. Ladies' highlights of the night, or rather the whole show. We got Samantha Irvin killing it over the whole weekend with her announcing, killing it in the green dress on night 2. I thought she was losing her voice on WrestleMania Night 2 of announcing Cody. Shut up, Moose! Announcing Cody the winner. But turns out she was crying. She was so happy. But yeah, she did an amazing job. I'm surprised, not surprised from like a skills standpoint, but surprised they had her do every ring announcing, every match. Not doing a split job with Mike Rome. Like Mike doing the SmackDown ones, Samantha doing the Raw ones. Just having her do all of it. She did a great job. Hopefully Mike Rome still has a job. But yeah, she did a great job. I'm glad she's getting her flowers online. So yeah. Continuing ladies' thoughts, Cody finished the story. ... I don't know exactly what that story was, but she's happy it's concluded. She's happy Seth kind of finished the story with Seth getting his revenge there. She liked the chaos of the people showing up in the last match for Bloodline rules. Just chaos, chaos, chaos. Sad for Drew. His tweet was 10 out of 10. We talked about it earlier where he said he was bored at work. He did quote tweet his tweet 3 hours later saying simply fuck. So, Drew's been killing it on social media. She liked Paul Heyman in the background petting the lay for the tribal chief and his reactions throughout, and then Seth's outfits and entrances as this man continues to be insane with his wardrobe. Man, oh man. So yeah, overall WrestleMania 40, it was a good time. I did enjoy night 2 a little bit better than night 1. I don't think there was anything that stood out as amazing here. Probably the main event of night 2, if I'm being honest, just because of that fun, chaotic element of people showing up. Obviously, Cody finishing. His story, as that can be put to rest of like, it's not going to happen, Moose. They're going to do Roman Reigns have Hulk Hogan's record. Peace of mind. Dwayne didn't get too involved. With his power, he did a little bit. We still have time to tell. Who knows? But glad that Cody got his moment. Seems like there's a new era, as this is Triple H's fully in control. First fully in control WrestleMania. Stephanie McMahon being back, I didn't mention, for night 2's opening is cool to see, and her back in the Hall of Fame. Seems like Vince is being put out in the back, which, oh boy, hopefully. Exactly. And it seems like morale, that's the biggest thing I want to take away from this. It seems like morale amongst everybody is at an all-time high. People have a lot of positive things to say, whether it was the Hall of Fame speeches, as Paul Heyman called out Triple H, and like how things are run and how things were. It wasn't a great time to pick the ball up with all these things going, but he did a great job with that. And people seem happy. I haven't listened to the press conferences, but like people are putting other superstars over and wrestlers. Like Rhea was putting up over the four horsewomen and saying like how they brought the division to new heights, and not that she wants them to go anywhere, but like move over, because her and Bianca are there to continue the momentum going there. Cody having good relationships with people. Heyman, really working with a lot of different talents there. Orton's been very happy since he's come back, it seems. Just across all of wrestling, we want people to be happy, we want people to succeed, and we want the industry to do well. Yeah! So, just hearing that they can come out of this fire, this inferno, and come out better for it is a good thing overall. So, I'm looking forward to it. I was really stoked to see everybody online, from online friends, talking about WrestleMania and being invested and being involved is something that like I've loved for years. To see more people talking about it, more people enjoying it, just makes my heart warm and fuzzy. Shout out to Simon Miller. Hopefully they stick with it. That's my biggest thing, is stick with it. Stay on this crazy roller coaster that wrestling is. Don't just keep it on the wayside because Mania is done. See what other journeys they're going to be going on, whether it's WWE, whether it's AEW, whether it's Ring of Honor, whatever it might be, Impact, TNA. Just, if you like it, just dive into it, have some fun with it. And sometimes you just got to turn your brain off. just get invested in something silly, something serious, whatever story they might be telling, and have some fun with it. But let me know what you guys thought of WrestleMania 40 in the comments below. I'd love to keep talking wrestling with you guys, and see what you guys enjoyed. Keep the conversation going. But this has been another episode of The Wait Where We Talking About Podcast. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011, and you can catch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma9011. You can drop a follow over there. You'll get notified when we go live, so you join in the fun and conversation with us, like Papa Griff, Pancake, and Lady did today. If you can't catch it live, that's A-OK. Just go over to YouTube and podcast services the very next week, where it's broken out topic by topic and puts one big video and MP3 for your amusement on the following Friday. Last but not least, wherever you're watching or listening to this, if you drop a follow, drop a sub, it may seem small, but it does help the channel grow. So if you take the time to do that, we would love and appreciate you for it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out today to hear about all this wrestling fun stuff and chaos. Hopefully you guys had a great time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.